everyone. My name is Kira Hall, and I am the Outreach Coordinator at the Contractors State License Board. And today I will be teaching you how to avoid home improvement scams and construction fraud in California and how to be an informed consumer. Let's get started. Before we get into the meat of the presentation, let's talk a little bit about who we are at the Contractors Board and what we do. So at the Contractors State License Board, we license contractors to work in the state of California by regulating the construction industry. And when we regulate the construction industry, we're in turn able to protect consumers like you from fraud and scams. And again, this is our Senior Scam Stopper presentation. CSLB has been doing this presentation since the late 90s, partnering with legislative offices and organizations statewide to provide valuable resources and information to seniors in California's communities. So now that we've gone over the introduction, let's cover the topics I'm going to be discussing with you today. So I'm going to be talking about why seniors are often targeted in construction scams. I'm going to discuss scam tactics, what you should know before hiring a contractor, what to know about construction jobs, how to file a complaint and check a license, and I will go over senior resources. Seniors are often targeted in construction scams, so let's talk a bit about that. As seniors, you may spend a lot of time alone or you may live alone. And as a result, there are people who may try to take advantage of this and manipulate you. What's important to note on this topic is that scammers are attracted to any amount of money that they can get their hands on. So don't think that they won't go the extra mile for a small amount of money, because unfortunately, they absolutely will. Let's discuss how to avoid common construction scams. Don't answer your door to strangers. It's okay to say no if there's someone on your property or at your door that you're not expecting that doesn't have a right to be there. You're not required to speak to them. It's okay to have boundaries and say no. On this topic, it's also important to note that it's advised not to make cash payments. And the reason for that is when you make a cash payment to a contractor, that's not a traceable payment, which means that it can make, for scammers, it a lot easier for them to take your money. Projects priced at $1,000 or more, labor and materials included, require a contractor to be licensed. So for those of you who may hire a handyman, a plumber, or maybe a landscaper to do routine yard maintenance, these are examples of smaller jobs that can sometimes fall under the $1,000 limit. When this is the case, those handymen or contractors do not need to be licensed. But for any job at $1,000 or higher, that does require that they have an active California contractor's license. Make sure you get the entire contract and everything in writing. The more that you have in writing, the more you're protected as a consumer. And the most important information that I'm going to give you today is our down payment limit. For payments up front, before materials have been delivered or work has been completed, the down payment cannot exceed 10% or $1,000 of the total contract price, whichever is less. Let's talk about more of what you should know before hiring a contractor. It's important to take the time to get at least 3 bids. Never feel pressure to work with the first contractor that gives you a sales pitch or that the first person you meet with. Talk to your neighbors, your community, loved ones, anyone who may have a good recommendation. Never be afraid to compare your options and take your time. Always ask to see the pocket license and photo ID of the contractor. And here on our slide, you can actually see what a contractor's license issued by us looks like, where you can input that license number directly into our website that will allow you to verify that their license is active and in good standing. In addition to asking to see the pocket license and photo ID, always ask to see proof of workers' comp and liability insurance. The reason this is so important is if a contractor does not have this insurance in place and the contractor or their employees get injured on your property, you as the homeowner become liable for that injury, and we do not want that. As a reminder, down payments cannot exceed 10% or $1,000 of the total contract price, whichever is less. Keep all your project documents, photos, emails, text messages, receipts, the contract itself, in a place that you can easily access. It's a huge benefit to you as a consumer should you ever need it later. All consumers also have 4 years from the date of the construction to file a complaint should it ever be needed. Ages 65 and older have a 5-day right to cancel any contract, and those below the age of 65 have 3 days. Let's talk a bit about ADUs and what to know. So ADUs stand for accessory dwelling units. These are very popular construction jobs that are very hot on the market right now. ADUs are essentially additional living spaces built either onto someone's home that are attached or built onto someone's property that are detached. These can be a great way to accommodate an aging loved one close to home but with some more independence, or a great way for those to create additional rental spaces on their property. Do your research and compare your options before you speak to a contractor. Never feel like you have to leave all the knowledge and research up to the contractor. It's okay to be informed yourself, because the more you know, the more you're protected. Also research local regulations, permit requirements, and zoning laws. ADUs are essentially building an entirely new small living space, either attached or detached. So there's a lot that comes into play with that, and it can be very involved. Laws can vary by city, by county. Make sure you do know what permits will be required. Your contractor will obviously be taking care of most of that, but it always is good for you yourself to know what's going to be done on a job that you are paying for. And I promise this will be the last time that I remind you, down payments cannot exceed 10% or $1,000 of that total contract price, whichever is less. And the reason we reiterate this so much, especially mention it in relation to ADUs, is because, as I've said, ADUs can be very expensive and very complex, comprehensive jobs. But they are considered home improvement jobs, which means that any kind of job that falls under being home improvement is subject to this down payment limit. Additional payments should only be made for work done or materials delivered. So I'm going to talk a little bit about solar. There are unfortunately a ton of solar scams happening across California right now, and we want to help you as consumers be prepared. So on the slide you can see our very handy QR code and the link to the solar page of our website, where we have a ton of resources. I'm going to touch on it briefly, but in short, be very wary of advertisements or signage you may see on the road that mentions free solar. There are a lot of companies or entities that present themselves as offering free solar and may come to your door. Never, as I've said before, feel pressure to work with whoever comes to your door first. You are not required to answer. There are plenty of reputable and helpful contractors that do solar that will not come to your door as well. So really take the time to do your research. Don't feel pressure, and make sure you really understand the contract, you get everything in writing, and make sure that that contract is in your own language and your own terms. You want to pay for everything you want and nothing that you don't. Hopefully you'll never experience this, but should you need it and you have been scammed, give us a call, send us an email, or file a complaint directly online. We are here to help. Here you can see on the front page of our website on the slide, you can go directly to the File a Complaint tab and directly file a complaint online with us, or call us or email us as well, so we can help get you through that process. And here, as I mentioned earlier, is where you can check the license directly on our website. On the far left of the screenshot that shows the front page of our website, you can go directly there and input that license number, and it will show you whether the license is in good standing and whether the workers' comp insurance and liability insurance is all good to go. And here you can see all of the resources that we have available, and as well as a video and what you're watching as another valuable resource. We have a ton of different resources on the page with frequently asked questions, and you can always reach out to us at our CSLB email. Give us a call if you have any questions regarding our resources. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time to listen, learn, and inform yourselves today. Again, my name is Kira, and I am the Outreach Coordinator at the Contractors State License Board. It has been a pleasure, and thank you so much. Have a lovely day.